And welcome, brothers, sisters, working class heroes. This is The Rick Smith Show. Thanks so much for being here. Today on the big program, lots to get to, lots to talk about. Wow, what a story over the weekend I came across. And it's one of these things where you go, it's a joke. It's, is it April Fool's? Is someone pulling my leg? Or is this just a one-off kind of thing? But the line that grabbed my attention, a mother talking of her child. We are so deeply invested into making sure that that child becomes a wonderful Nazi. Yeah, an Ohio couple known as Mr. and Mrs. Saxton, not their real names, because evidently they're not that invested in it. They have been running this dissident homeschool program that has about 2,400 members. And it's all about getting good Nazi curriculum out to the children. Because, for instance, on MLK Day, the line that they want the children to learn, that it's up to the parents to make sure that the parents understand and teach the children that King was deceitful, dishonest, riot inciting. He was a riot inciting Negro who actually was the face of a movement which ethnically cleansed whites out of urban areas and precipitated the anti-white regime that we are now fighting to free ourselves from. Yeah, this is what they're teaching their children. They're encouraging meetup groups. They're having pool parties. Good ethnic cleansing kind of stuff. Demanding that they only hang around with other crazy radical white supremacists. But here's the thing. This is what gets me. And as I'm reading through the story of this couple that lives in Upper Sandusky, Ohio, which is right near Cedar Point, a great fun place. I lived in that area for a little while. Good, decent people. They look like normal people. Members of the Masons Club, participants in the community. Look on the outside. But wow. And you look at the hatred, the anger. It's the same stuff that you would have expected to see, 100 years ago. It's the same kind of hatred that's been bubbling up. And look, this is the Trump effect. This has made this stuff more okay in certain circles. And it's frightening, especially over the weekend, as we talked about the murder of a black man by 5 black police officers. Race relations in this country, a real problem. And when you have this kind of stuff that goes on, where you have this kind of anti-Semitism, this kind of racism, we're in a scary moment. And for everybody who thinks, no, everything's just fine. Everything's just fine. There's just a handful of them. I don't know. Because when you looked at some of the comments and some of the stuff that goes in there, wow, we're at a frightening moment. And this is why I come to, these kind of things keep popping up. Now, I've always been against homeschooling. Child abuse,
One best-selling author and Ramsey personality is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Natalie is in Modesto, California. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Talk about indoctrination.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
An AR-15.
Hi. I am currently on baby step 2, and for work, I am a federal employee. Because I'm a federal employee and also the position that I'm in, I am deemed essential. So in an event of a government shutdown, I would still have to work, but without a paycheck during that period of a shutdown. So with the recent talks of a government shutdown this year, which the talk of government shutdown is always in the air every year, but this time it's actually making me a little bit nervous. So my question is, since I'm on baby step 2, should I increase my starter emergency fund in case there is a government shutdown
And I had to go
this
up
year?
and ask her, because there were
No.
kids walking up and down the street.
No? Okay.
No, you don't ever increase your
What
baby
are
step
your children
emergency fund. What you might do is you might push pause on the whole dadgum thing and pile up cash.
Much worse, you're standing here
But just push
holding
pause on your whole baby steps. No baby steps at all are involved. We have there's a tornado coming towards our house, and we need an emergency. We need a big pile of money.
Put me in my place.
Okay, so just don't even touch
Stop
the emergency
everything
fund, just say,
and
just
pile
save.
up cash everywhere if you think this is going to happen.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
How long have you been a federal government employee?
This is my second year, so I haven't experienced anything, when it comes to the government shutdown since I joined
Go back
the
and do a
agency.
little research for yourself.
You see all these people going to
How many
school
times you've
meetings.
actually
That's
been
indoctrination.
shut down?
That kind of
Yeah, I've
It's
done
hardly
that. It's
ever.
just-
wow.
yeah, hardly ever. Yeah,
Like,
it's
I think
just,
three
I-
times in 30 years or something like that.
There's a guy. There are a couple people
Yeah, and the most recent
Yeah,
one being
my
in
neighborhood
January of
have the F5
2019.
flags up.
It's just I'm feeling a little nervous because
What message is that sending?
one, maybe it's because I'm
coarseness
doing
of our
this debt-free
language,
journey,
the
and
harshness
two,
of
my
our
coworkers are making me nervous as well. So they're in talks of, raising their emergency fund, or they're saving up money in case they're doing
They're
so.
broke people.
And what message
Okay.
does this send to the kids?
So what we need to decide what the real threat is. Okay? So if someone calls me up and says, our company is considering layoffs,
Just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
do I stop everything and build up an emergency fund? Then the question is, what is the probability you are going to be laid off?
Frightening people.
If it's if it's 50-50, yeah,
Every once
stop.
In a while you'll hear
Build
one
up
of these
cash.
crazy stories come up.
If you think there's a 10% chance you're going to be laid off,
12 years ago.
this is called
That couple from
worrying.
New Jersey who named their kid
Just work your plan and shut up. Okay?
and
So
named the
what do you
other
think the
kid,
probability is, after doing a little bit of research, not listening to your broke coworkers who worry about everything, but really looking at it and saying, okay, in the current political environment, what things are the same as they were during the times that the 3 times it did get shut down in 30 years, or whatever the number is. I don't remember. I'm guessing, but it's not far off of that. And so, and oh, by the way, there's 14 times or 26 times that we almost did, and only 3 times they did. And so it's usually just a bunch of hogwash, and we keep working. And
Yeah, that's my, yeah.
yeah, and if you think, okay, there's a 10% chance this is going to happen,
An international
go with it. Just keep working your plan.
Hey, Natalie, how much debt do you have?
Tear us apart.
I currently 80,000 right now.
Okay, and are you working a second job?
No, I work currently with my schedule. I'm currently working 7 days a week, and
What do
and
you
it
make?
rotates every 6 months. My base salary right now is at 57,000 a year. That's my base salary, but with overtime, I'm projected to make about 105, 110 this year.
Okay, cool.
How much overtime are you doing right now?
All day long.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Again, every 6 months our schedule changes, so I'm probably going to have the schedule for the full year. So I'm doing at least 75 hours of working 75
Yeah, and you're not
to 80
required
hours
to
a
do
week.
the overtime if they shut down.
New Jersey.
I am required.
No,
to do
not
it.
overtime.
To be more specific, I work for the USDA, so my schedule is based on the factories that I work for. So if the factories are working, I work. So they are deemed essential, so I'm essential, so most 100% I'll be working overtime.
If they're good judges.
Because the reason I'm asking that is I'm thinking, like, if for some crazy scenario the government shut down, if you had a side hustle, if you had another source of income, that could be
You
helpful.
got no margin to do that.
Right, but with 75 hours a week, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before the schedule, I had the time, but again, our schedule changes from time to time, so I'm taking advantage of the schedule I have right now.
Yeah, I get that, and you're working your butt off, girl. Way to go! I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And that's tough, and what you're doing is a lot of hard work too. It's not wussy work. This is real work. So, yeah, you have to decide what you think the probability with actual facts, not whiners at work, but the actual probability of the shutdown is. And if you think it's 50-50, then I would stop everything and pile up cash. I personally don't think this one is 50-50.
Okay.
That's a personal opinion, but you can look at it and say, because I think what's going on is the jockeying with a new Republican Congress against a Democrat Senate, and they're trying to, it's a power play. The shutdowns usually are power plays, by the way. But you've got a president on one side, a Senate on that side, and then you've got the Republicans on the other side in the Congress, and so they're gonna push around and act like they did something, and then at the last minute they're all going to sign up. That's what they do 99% of the time, but that's just an opinion from somebody who has no respect for hardly any of those people up there. So,
Dave, I think we just need you to go to Washington and
you don't.
We need you to run their budget.
There would be a war.
We need you to teach them how to budget.
There would be a war. You don't want me up there.
How are we running our country at a deficit? Like we're not doing a zero-based budget. We're doing.
We need a no-spend month.
Yes, we do.
In the Congress.
Come on. Let's go.
Well, then Sarah would be back off of overtime. Or Natalie, rather. I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that, Natalie. Hey, you'll be okay, kiddo. I think you're okay, but you look at it and you make the judgment. Don't stop your plan based on worries, because worries are always there. But if the facts are scary, then you would stop your plan and pile up cash. That's the moral of the story for all of you facing these kinds of things. This is The Ramsey Show. They say no one buys or sells homes this time of year, but they are dumb. About 1 million homes will get sold in the winter months each year. So no matter what season we're in, it's a great time to check out our friends at Pods Moving and Storage. These folks are dedicated to giving you the best moving experience possible all year round. And while there's a lot you can't control in the home buying and selling process, Pods puts you in control of your move. Their drivers deliver your container, then you load it on your schedule. The Pods team will pick it back up and can even store it until you're ready to unload it at your new place. So even if your closing dates don't line up perfectly, you don't have to go through the hassle of moving twice. And with demand off from those warmer months, those lower temperatures can translate to lower prices on your move. So go to pods.com/Ramsey to get a quote for your move today. That's pods.com/Ramsey.
Dr. John Deloney here. It's a new year, and you have a new chance to build meaningful relationships. Check out the new decks of our most popular questions for humans, the Couples Edition, the Friends Edition, and the Parents and Kids Editions. Plus, learn the 5 steps to living a whole and connected life in my latest book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Remember, whatever season of life you're in, you're worth being well. Get the book and your favorite decks today at RamseySolutions.com/store. That's RamseySolutions.com/store.
If you haven't invested in your home's security, make 2023 the year you do. And remember, SimpliSafe is the best deal out there. With their advanced sensors and cameras, SimpliSafe helps protect your whole home against expensive burglaries, floods, fires, and more. Order your system at SimpliSafeDirect.com today to claim a free indoor security camera, plus 20% off your entire order with interactive monitoring. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Because we don't have,
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. It's a new year, and I know some of you are looking for a side hustle. Some of you are quiet quitting and want to make a change but don't know where to start. Some of you want to level up in your career. Good news. There is a way to get unstuck, increase your income, and find the work you were made to do. That is why I created the Get Clear Career Assessment, to help you discover your talent, what you do best, your passion, work you love, and your mission, what results motivate you, and the top jobs that would be a great fit for you based on that information. After completing this assessment, you'll get an in-depth, customized report to give you clarity and confidence for your next career move. The assessment will also help you create a purpose statement so you can discover countless ways to do meaningful work or maybe even find a new job. Order your Get Clear assessment today at RamseySolutions.com/GetClear today. That's RamseySolutions, homeschool.com/getclear.
Hey, homeschool parents, listen up. You work so hard to get your teens ready for the real world. You want them to face the future confident and prepared for whatever life throws at them. That's a mission we can get behind. So we created the Foundations in Personal Finance homeschool curriculum to give parents just like you everything you need to teach your middle school and high school teens about money. Our Ramsey experts teach all the money stuff for you so you can focus on your teens' learning. They'll get real life skills they'll use now and for the rest of their lives. Skills like how to save and spend wisely, how to pay cash for college, how to land a job they really love, and more. It's everything you wish you'd learned when you were in school. So check out Foundations in Personal Finance today. Your teens will thank you for it later. Go to RamseySolutions.com/homeschool to learn more. That's RamseySolutions.com/homeschool.
In 2024, because they've got to claw back the power to crush working. And this is where the frustration of this moment is. Because we as working people...
Christina Ellis, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our question of the day today is from Brian in New Mexico. You want to read it?
Yeah. My wife and I are working on baby step 2 and should be complete in less than 2 years. We're looking towards the future and worried about how we will pay for college for our 8-year-old daughter. I have an IRA worth $66,000, and I'm thinking about moving about $10,000 of it into a 529. Is this possible and or a smart thing to do? How would it affect the tax side of things if we do this?
Corporate America has done that.
It's an interesting question. I personally, and Dave, you may have a different opinion, I would say if you're in baby step 2, right now, I would just be worried about baby step 2 and focused on that, especially with an 8-year-old daughter. Paying for college, if you can do that for your daughter, that's going to be a nice gift. But given that she's 8 years old, one, you do have some margin and time to save, but also, you know, there's a lot of different ways to pay for college. There's scholarships, there's tuition, free schools, there's so many different options. And right now, I want you all to be set up, you know, getting out of debt and saving towards retirement. So I love that you're thinking about the 529, but right now I'd be more focused on baby step 2.
Exactly. Yeah, and no, you cannot move money from a 401k or an IRA to a 529, not without paying the penalties for early withdrawal. So it's not an option, #1. #2, if it was an option, I would tell you not to do it, for the same reasons Christina just did. So, yeah, let's don't do that. And work your baby steps. You're going to get to baby step 5. At that point, you're going to start saving for college into a 529. And during that time, you're going to get better and better at managing money. You're going to get more and more margin because you're going to have no debt except your home when you're at baby step 4, 5, and 6, working on paying off your house, saving for retirement, saving for your kids' college. And you're going to, you know, have more and more than you think you're going to have, because this doesn't work on a straight line. You're looking at a snapshot of your life, which is today. Life is a film strip. It's not a snapshot. It's going to, things are going to change every frame as you go along. Generally, if you're working a plan, they get better financially, generally. I mean, sometimes people have setbacks that they can't do anything about, but generally, that's what's going to happen. So,
including your income going up, you know, getting out of debt, hopefully eventually being in baby step 7. As you get closer to college, there's a chance that even if you don't have a huge pile of cash to pay for her education, you may be able to cash flow some of that.
Yeah. You know, now, don't be adding. You shouldn't be adding right now to your 401k. You should be working your baby step 2. You stop your 401k temporarily when you're in baby step 2 and you pay on debt, smallest to largest, and you're working that snowball that way. That's a big deal. And so it's smart to look ahead and be thinking, unless it causes you to get into panic mode and start doing stupid stuff. And this is on the stupid stuff list. Don't do this, okay? Even if you could, don't do it. Now, here's the other thing. Well, the other part of Christina's advice is the real answer to your question. The thing you can start working on for her college is her. Okay? For instance, we explained to our children that they were going to in-state schools. They were never really giving an option on that. Instead of saying, no, you pay your own for it. Because it's what we're not going to overpay for college. And we didn't have any pro athletes or geniuses in the Ramsey house that got 4.0s, okay? So they were like regular kids, and they were not going to be getting academic or athletic scholarships. We did not know about Christina and the magic of scholarships in those days, and so we said, you're going to a state school. So college choice is something you can start working on today. Follow the correct football team, so we don't want to be confused. And let's understand that the parents run the house, not the child. Well, my child told me my child didn't tell me stuff. I told them stuff.
They don't flip the hamburger.
That's how that works. Well, you're controlling. Yep, my money. You can count on me being controlling in that case. Yep, my kid. You can count on me being controlling in this. You can tell your therapist about it when you're 30, but for right now, you're going to freaking do what I say. Okay.
Well, and also, it's important to start having these conversations about money in college, and that it costs money early on. Because I talk to parents of seniors all the time who are like, hey, I went home and I had a conversation about college being expensive with my senior, and they don't want to do anything but play video games. And I'm like, well, let's see. Have they been active before? Like, have they been doing sports? Are they involved in activities? Are they active?
There's hardly any scholarships for Mario.
Right, for couch potatoes.
Hardly any.
There's not a couch potato scholarship, y'all.
Not that I'm aware of. There's a lot of scholarships, but I'm not aware of that one.
Right, and so it's like they don't, and then
So
also
school choice scholarships, plan on working, so teaching your 8-year-old how to work, age appropriately, and how to make value-based decisions, what is something worth what it costs, and then how to look for scholarships and do things that are not normal that your friends don't do. And so we didn't go on a college tour and visit 17 colleges. We also didn't go look at Mercedes-Benz when they turned 16 because they weren't getting one. So there's no reason to be on that lot because you're not going there. And so, it's, so this is, now, if you want to do all that stuff, I'm not mad at you, but this thing of these people have a sense that the college system is happening to you when you instead can happen to it. And that's a bigger part of the equation than moving 10 grand to your 529.
Absolutely. Being proactive about it, having these money conversations earlier, instilling these work ethic and values into your kids early on, that makes a huge difference. Talk to them about this stuff. Tell them what the future is going to look like. Talk to them about money and scholarships. And just doing that, they're going to be so much more prepared. That's why we have the student loan crisis right now. A lot of these kids didn't know about money. Nobody talked to them. And the first person that really had an in-depth conversation was somebody offering them a student loan.
It's a little bit mean, and it's one of the few mean things Rachel Cruz says, but she says we don't really have a student loan crisis. We have a parenting crisis. Step up, Mom and Dad. Don't let your 17-year-old, your 18-year-old do stupid butt stuff that's going to take them 2 decades to recover from.
Right.
That's what it amounts to. You're going to go $200,000 in debt to get a degree in left-handed puppetry or German polka history, and then whine because the society owes you a living. I need President Biden to forgive my debt because I'm dumber than a rock.
Well, but it's not even just like, it's sad, but it's also like these are 17-year-olds. They're inherently, like, their prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. They're not supposed to, like, they don't necessarily inherently know all of this.
For those of you that don't know, that's their brain.
Right.
It's not fully developed.
It's not. And so it's like, they're kind of supposed to be a little dumb. Like, that's just part of it.
It's part of being 17.
It's part of being 17.
You don't get to choose.
We all made dumb decisions at 17 years old, but they shouldn't have zeros attached.
If you're going to pay $50,000 a year for college instead of $12,000, there needs to be a real reason, and you need to have the money or the scholarships. So you went to freaking Vanderbilt and got a degree, which is like $60,000 a year.
It's close to 70. It's like, I think it's over 70 now.
Okay, and so we're not saying you all have to do what Redneck Dave did and made his kid go to state college. We don't all have to do that. So there's nothing wrong with Vanderbilt except their football team. So you can go over there and go to school for $60,000 a year. But by the way, Christina did not pay a dime to go there.
Right, and that was part of the conversation with my mom, and she's like, you're on your own paying for college, but you got to get scholarships. You have to figure out a way to pay for it. Student
and then
loans,
you
that
went
was
and
an
got your
option.
master's at freaking Belmont, right?
Yeah.
Was it your master's? Is that right, or were you a PhD too? I can't remember.
Master's, I'm not as cool as
Master's.
Deloney.
Okay. Not as nobody's as cool as Deloney, but yeah. So master's at Belmont, and that's like $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
52, I think, or something. Yeah.
It's up there.
So I mean, you picked out two freaking expensive schools, but you got $500,000 in scholarships.
Yep.
Pay cash for both of them.
Yep. Well, scholarships pay for
Telling
it.
your business here, girl. But I mean,
airing it
this
out.
is your business. So
that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I felt those overwhelming feelings of like, how am I going to pay for this education? My mom's already told me I'm on my own, but I'm going to figure it out.
And let me just tell you, no one cares where you went to school out here after you get out. Have you ever asked your doctor, before you give me that shot, where'd you go to school? Nope. Before you hired that lawyer, did you ask them where they got their law degree? Nope. 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 So you need to go to school at a place that you can pay for and that will give you the education that will cause you to go win as like a grown-up and stuff. This is The Ramsey Show. It's tax season, the most exciting time of the year. Not. But listen, you don't have to end up confused and overwhelmed by it all this year. You're smarter than that. Do yourself a favor. If your taxes are simple enough to e-file, get a leg up with Ramsey Smart Tax. This is our online software that makes it easy to file with confidence and save big. When you register early, you'll get free resources to help you get organized. And when you're ready to e-file, you'll have everything you need to do your taxes the Ramsey way. Every major federal form and deduction is included, so you won't get charged more for extra forms if you're self-employed or for claiming certain deductions. And you certainly won't get offers to put you into debt. Ramsey Smart Tax even has built-in support for your questions. To get your taxes done and actually feel good about it this year, check out RamseySolutions.com/SmartTax. That's RamseySolutions.com/SmartTax.
Folks, are you not very excited when you drive to work on Monday morning? Do you feel like you're stuck in the daily grind, just going through the motions without doing work you're truly passionate about? Well, you're not alone. Nearly 70% of Americans are not engaged in their jobs, and I've been there too. I know how frustrating that can be, but you don't have to be one of the 70% anymore. I'm Ken Coleman, an author, speaker, and radio show host at Ramsey Solutions. And if you want to find a job you love, then my book, The Proximity Principle, can help. This book will give you a simple, proven strategy for getting in the right places and around the right people who will connect you to the work meant to do. You'll learn how to network the right way, build relationships with experts and mentors, find organizations that will help you grow, and more. This strategy has worked for me, and it's worked for thousands of people who've called into my show. Now it's time for you to take the next step toward work you love. Visit RamseySolutions.com/store today to get your copy of The Proximity Principle. That's RamseySolutions.com/store.
When you've been working your tail off to win with money and build wealth, you deserve an investing professional who cares about you and your money. That's why you need one of our SmartVestor Pros. For over 20 years, our SmartVestor program has been scouting financial advisors who know what we teach and are committed to super serving our listeners. Through the years, we've passed on some so-called pros that weren't worth your time or your trust. So you can have peace of mind knowing when you sign up for a SmartVestor Pro, you'll get matched with an investment professional in your area who has a track record and shares your values. With pros in all 50 states, you get the opportunity to meet the SmartVestor pros in your area and choose for yourself who you want to work with. To find a SmartVestor Pro today, go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor. That's RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
Hey guys, Rachel Cruz here. So many parents I talk to lately feel a little lost when it comes to talking to their kids about money. It comes up when I'm coaching people and even in my own group of friends. They want to teach their kids how to spend responsibly, the joy of giving generously, the value of hard work, how to avoid college debt, and more. If that's something you've been feeling too, Don't worry. Instilling these values in your kids is easier than you think. You just need a guide. That's why my dad, Dave Ramsey, and I wrote a book, Smart Money, Smart Kids. This best-selling book is our no-nonsense approach to teaching kids and teens the basics of money. These money lessons are crucial to their financial future, especially right now in our debt-obsessed world. This book will set your whole family up for success and open up meaningful conversations with your kids around money, no matter how old they are. Go to the online store at RamseySolutions.com today to get your copy of Smart Money, Smart Kids. That's RamseySolutions.com.
Are you wondering where your money goes every month? You work too hard to be living paycheck to paycheck. It's time to get gazelle intense about making a change, and we want to help you build a future you can be excited about. Our all-time best-selling book, The Total Money Makeover, is going to help you take control of your money. You'll learn 7 organized, easy-to-follow steps that will lead you out of debt, help you build wealth, and secure your future. Plus, you'll be inspired by the real-life stories from folks just like you who have learned how to put these principles into action and change their family tree. I've heard so many debt-free screams over the years from people that won with money, and so many of them started with this book. So what are you waiting for? It's time for your total money makeover. Get it today in the online store at RamseySolutions.com or call us at 888-22-PEACE. That's RamseySolutions.com or 888-227-3223.
Hey guys, George Camel here to celebrate me. That's right. I'm celebrating 9 years of working at Ramsey Solutions. And let me tell you, between the mission, the culture, and the people, and truthfully, the free coffee, there's no place I'd rather be. But this isn't about me. It's about you. That's why I'm so pumped about all of the open roles here at Ramsey Solutions. Our team is full of wildly talented, passionate, and dare I say fun people who actually look forward to coming to work on Mondays. With over 1,000 team members now, we're always launching new products and finding ways to deliver hope to the masses, which is why we need more amazing team members to join this mission, especially developers, user experience designers, and writers. And you could be a fit, my friend. So what are you waiting for? Go check out all of the open roles at RamseySolutions.com/careers. That's RamseySolutions.com/careers. Go.
Scholarship winner is my co-host today. We were talking about student loans in that last question of the day that came up, and one of the things that's happened in the last week or so is President Biden signed into law the new Secure Act. If you want to see a full breakdown of the Secure Act, we've got a great article coming out on our website at the end of the week. So be checking our blog at the end of the week, and it's going to be absolutely everything you need to know about the Secure Act. But there's 2 things in the Secure Act that were signed that most of it had to do with retirement. But 2 things they did that were very cool that are helpful on this other issue. One is the law allows companies to make 401k matching contributions based on the employer's student loan payments, even if the workers don't contribute directly to their own 401k. So apparently, if I'm understanding this correctly, a lot of companies are helping with student loan debt one way or another out there. It's a hiring process, it's a hiring thing now, a signing bonus type thing. So like you got a match on your 401k, that's a reason to go to work for that company. We'll help you with your student loans, a reason to go to work for that company. So they're making this happen here. And if I'm understanding this correctly, the company can make contributions to your 401k equal to up to $3,000 a year, I believe it was, equal to your payments on your student loans. This is the same president that's forgiving the student loans. I'm so confused, but they're not forgiven, so there we go. And this is the thing. So employers can match your student loan payments with retirement contributions. This is correct. Here, I'm trying to read the thing. Let's say you get a new job making $100,000. Your employer matches 3% on contribution, but you're still working on getting Sally Mae out. Your employer could offer up to $3,000 of student loan. I was right about that. Yeah. So you put $3,000 down on your student loan. They'll put $3,000 in your retirement account. If your employer offered that, it is now legalized with the Secure Act. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a reason to do your debt reduction, reason to get there. And the other one that's even cooler Because a lot of people gripe about, well, if I put money in the 529, what if we don't use it? Well, number one, that almost never comes up because very few people put enough money in the 529 for this to be a problem. Okay, but let's say you've got $30,000 left over in your 529 and you didn't use it. Number one, if you didn't use it because of scholarships, you can take out every year the value of the scholarship. So if you get a $10,000 scholarship, you can pull $10,000 out of your 529, no taxes, no penalties. You just have to provide the documentation. That's already on the books. But the Secure Act is allowing, if after all of that you still end up with, because you went to a cheaper school and your parents had saved like maniacs, okay, and you end up with money left in your 529, you can roll it. After 15 years, you can roll over any unused money from a 529 to a Roth IRA for the plan's beneficiary. So little Susie Q, your daughter, has a 529, and little Susie Q doesn't use it all. 15 years later, Susie Q can have a Roth IRA and roll the money into that with no penalties.
This is so exciting to me.
That's a really good thing.
Yeah, especially as a parent. I mean, that's a discussion we've had in our house and just a conversation and a thought process. And it's like, wow, that is a huge change for parents.
Well, it takes away the whining that says, I'm afraid I'm going to have too much in my 529, which never freaking happens, but it could happen hypothetically. And if it did, number one, if it was because of scholarships, you should have pulled it out right then and not paid any taxes, doing what we just told you. That's already on the books. But now this act, the Secure Act, signed by Biden, thank you, President Biden, good piece of legislation here. I think everything in this piece of legislation, but one thing I like, we'll cover that another day. But these two student loan things, one is the employer can now match what you pay down up to $3,000 into your 401k, nice benefit. And two, this is even more important, if you had 529 money left over, after 15 years you can roll any unused money from a 529 plan into a Roth IRA, the student to the student, okay, not to mom and dad's Roth IRA, but to the student's IRA, this is just very cool.
Yeah, it's another way to set your kids up for success. And again, like you said, to take those excuses off the table. There's not a reason not to save for college if you're in baby step 5, and you think your kids are going to go to college. Like, that's a great thing to do, and you don't have that fear anymore. There's not that reason to hesitate.
Very good. Sarah is with us. Sarah's in Asheville, North Carolina. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
I hate to say
Hey, Dave. Thanks.
Nuts a little bit.
What's up?
I have a question about investing or saving. We had just completed funding our 6-month emergency fund.
Way to go!
We would like to, thank you. We're very excited. We're doing the baby steps, so we're looking to increase our investing. But the question is, we also have some savings goals. We'd like to pay cash for our next car, and like home maintenance things. Like we've been told, we'll need to replace the heat pump in our house, which would be several thousand. So the question is, do we just dump into savings right now or up some investing? We're not
What's your household
sure
income?
What to do. We are a single income. I now stay home with my children, and we're about right at 90.
Okay. And you're going to be putting baby step 4 is 15% of your income going into retirement. And then with what's left over in your budget, you save up for a car and a heat pump.
Yeah, to rob us.
You don't have any payments anymore, remember?
The premise of what we do here.
Yeah, we have no payments.
Is that the status quo benefits the very wealthy, the 1%.
That's the question. If we dump that much into retirement, it's going to be hard to have much to save.
No.
For a car.
No. How much debt have you paid off?
Sherry Jacobus, she's a political.
It's Jacobus, by the way.
Sherry Jacobus.
Well, we have no car payment.
How much debt did you pay off?
With Sherry Jacobus.
Probably 15,000.
How long did that take you? Over how long?
Probably 2 years.
Good Lord. Well, yeah, you're going to have trouble because you've never cut your budget back.
I was hoping for the pillow guy.
How quickly do you need this car?
Look, if we're going down the
the car we have now is 11 years old, and it's functioning. We hope to keep it as long as we can. We do not want to go into debt for a car, of course.
So it's not an urgent need right now.
What's your house payment?
No. Our house is paid for currently. We're a family of 6.
The RNC platform, and Rhonda McDaniel ran with
So
it.
we
Okay,
have no
Sarah,
house
there's
payments.
all kinds of problems in this math, and I don't know where it is. All right? And I don't want to jump to too many conclusions. My suspicion from my experience is that you're not doing a good job with your budget.
So I'm thinking
You have no house
Okay.
payment. You have no car payments. You make $90,000 a year. You have 6 kids. Lots of people in your situation would have lots of money left over after having put $1,200, $1,400 into their 401k plan. You don't have a payment in the world.
It's kind of mystifying to me.
And there should be all kinds of room in this budget to save. Not buy a car a month, but you ought to be able to save and buy one by September. You ought to be able to save and do your retirement. I think you guys are
still in lockstep with him.
focused on, you get caught up in the busyness of a large family, and sometimes there's some disorganization in the finances around that, and we go, oh, well, we're a large family, we can't afford it.
All the legal stuff.
Sometimes that happens. Could that be you?
People are getting sick of it. But see, they've been growing mini Trumps.
I think
like you've got Ron DeSantis.
so.
His,
Like I said, we're single income.
Do you do a written budget every month? Every dollar has a name, and you and your husband are in agreement on it before the month begins? No, you don't.
Yes.
You do.
A more malleable,
Every single dollar has an
I
assignment.
don't know, easier to manage.
Yes.
Okay.
Trump.
Then you need to figure out where all your money is going.
Do a no-spend month.
Because, yeah, I mean, it's, you got $90,000 coming in minus taxes, and you should have money left over to do retirement and to save for these other things. There should be room in this budget. I've been doing budgets for 30 years. There's something wrong with your equation here. Something's missing. This is The Ramsey Show. Who out there is sick and tired of paying through the nose for cell service? The big guys lure you in with starting deals that sound amazing, but somehow that bill always seems to creep up. But hey, it was all in the contract somewhere. Ugh. Well, it doesn't have to be that complicated, you guys. That's why I recommend Consumer Cellular. They offer the same great coverage and phone selection as the big-name carriers, but you can save up to half on your bill by making the switch. Just work with their awesome customer service team to pick the plan that works best for your needs, starting at $20 a month. No one-size-fits-all treatment here. Yep, you get the great coverage, great options, and great service from real people, all with no contract and big savings. It's a no-brainer. Go to consumercellular.com/Ramsey. Use the promo code Ramsey to get $25 off your bill for a limited time. That's consumercellular.com/Ramsey.
What does it say about us?
This new year, get the proven plan millions have used to take control of their money with Dave Ramsey's national best-selling books, The Total Money Makeover and Baby Steps Millionaires. You'll learn the 7 baby steps to crush debt and save in The Total Money Makeover. Then once you're ready to invest and build wealth, dive into Baby Steps Millionaires. This is your proven and surefire plan to build a legacy. Go to RamseySolutions.com/store to order your books today.
Dave Ramsey here. I want to let you know that whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, you should always use an expert real estate agent to help you. The whole purpose of an agent is to either help you save money if you're buying or make more money if you're selling. But not all real estate agents are the same. You want a seasoned professional who has a track record of success. You want an agent you can trust to put your best interests above their own. The good news is that my team and I can help you find a rock star real estate agent. We call these rock star agents endorsed local providers because they're local agents in your city that I recommend. Real estate endorsed local providers are professionals who are handpicked by my team. Each agent is reviewed based on their ability to sell houses, negotiate negotiate on a client's behalf, and the customer service they provide. To find the real estate agent I recommend in your city, go to RamseySolutions.com/agent.
Hey guys, Rachel Cruz here, and I know money can be stressful. You work hard to create a life you're proud of, but so often I see people get into debt, stress, and worry simply because they're trying to keep up with everyone else. The result is car payments, mortgages, and credit card bills you can't afford. You see, comparison steals your joy and your paycheck. When we compare ourselves to others, we're playing a game we'll never win. When will the vicious cycle end? Well, it ends when you quit the comparisons and love your life, not theirs. That's why I wrote my best-selling book, Love Your Life, Not Theirs, to help you make a plan for your money and create a life you want. In this book, you'll learn 7 money habits for avoiding debt, spending on a plan, saving for the future, and making peace with your finances. Live the life of your dreams without debt, stress, comparisons, and worry, wreaking havoc on your joy. Go to the online store at RamseySolutions.com today to get your copy of Love Your Life.
Well, sometimes the lessons in life that you get when you screw up, they hurt. You learn from them. You've got the wisdom, and you don't have to do it again.
No, I mean, they fall in love.
And then you get to do something new that's stupid. But that old stupid thing, you don't have to do it twice, right? That's how we learn. That's how I learn. I try not to do the same stupid thing twice. And after you get older, you've done a whole bunch of stupid things that you don't do again, so you get to be what they call wise. This is why we wrote the Total Money Makeover, so you don't have to make the same money mistakes I made. You can learn from my stupidity before I learned to do things the right way. You get practical, proven plans that literally tens of millions of people have applied to get out of debt and build wealth, and learn the 7 baby steps. In my most recent book, Baby Steps Millionaires, you'll also find out through the stories of real people that you can be radically transformed and become a millionaire. It can really happen. Anyone can do this in America, even today. It's not snake oil. It's not magic. It's actually very hard, but it's easier than being broke and stressed. So try it. Anyone can do it. Never too late. You can order the Total Money Makeover book. You can order the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You can order any of our Ramsey personality books, of course, at RamseySolutions.com/store. Check it out. James is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hi, James. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
So I just have a question. I recently started listening to your podcast. My wife and I, we recently moved into our new construction home, and we're just kind of trying to figure out how to budget properly. We're both in our early 20s, and I always hear about the Money Makeover book and also financial advisors, and I'm just curious on what's the best route for someone just starting to learn how to budget properly to go.
For goodness sake. Well, welcome on board. We're happy to have you here.
Our ratings went way up. We didn't know it was you.
So are you familiar with the baby steps at this point?
Somewhat, not all the way, but I have my stepmother. She preaches you all the time, and like I said, I just started listening to you guys, and I'd really like to hop on the train and get this whole situation fixed.
Well, I love this. This is what we were talking about earlier with all the acronyms and the new lingo for the people that are just starting out in the tribe. So this is just perfect. So do you all have any other debt outside of your house?
Other than credit card payments, no, we paid off our cars while our house is being constructed. And we had a medical bill that we paid off as well. So we just have credit card payment and house.
What is it? How much, you mean you have debt on a credit card?
Yes.
Okay. How much?
17,000.
Okay. And what's your household income?
Yearly, it's right around, this year we were at 95.
Good for you. You got a great start, sir. Great start.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I love that you're already tackling, the car, the different medical bills. Like that's awesome. The 17, that's next. So that would put you on baby step 2. We have 7 baby steps. You're on 2. And that's the next thing we want you to tackle. And you asked about a financial advisor. We've got these things here called SmartVestor Pros. And for a lot of people, once they're investing, we recommend both. But right now, you're in baby step 2. And have you taken Financial Peace University yet?
I have not.
Well, we'll gift that to you, and that'll explain the whole system. You'll learn all the lingo and all the acronyms and all the things that we're talking about to just kind of get you really focused and started.
Yeah, this is the class that you should have been taught, that we all should have been taught.
I wish.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too. And so, yeah, but it's going to walk you through exactly what to do. And so right now what you're going to discover is the largest barrier to people becoming wealthy is debt payments, because your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. So what we're going to do is quickly wipe out that $17,000. So with no payment in the world but a house payment, you got some wiggle room in your budget. Then you can save for an emergency fund. Then you can start your retirement investing, which is where you'll build serious wealth. And you can start saving for your kiddos' college so they don't end up in student loan debt later. And then the next to the last step, 6, is we're going to pay off the house early. That's probably going to take 7, 8 years to do that whole thing. But, dude, if you're 30 and you have a paid-for house, retirement's well underway and you don't have a payment in the world, by then you're making a lot more than 90. You're going to be so wealthy so fast, it's going to be crazy in the scope of things. See what we're doing?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a system, a process of what to do first, what to do second, and all of that. And like Christina said, we'll sign you up. We're going to give it to you as our gift to say thank you for being a new listener. We're glad you're here, and it'll walk you through this. But you're going to have there's a.
You were the one behind the reading of the
There's not a path to greatness that does not involve strain.
No, he's not.
There's not a path to success that doesn't involve perseverance. There's not a path to being different, above average, that does average things. So be ready for some prescriptive things that we're going to tell you to do. They're going to feel like your friends are going to think you're crazy. But keep in mind, your friend.
This is making sense, especially now that we know, new stuff is coming out about Barr and just all of it. It's absolutely alarming. It's kind of late in the game for some of this stuff, and we're going to get into an election year, and then what's Merrick Garland going to say? Well, Trump's a candidate, now it's an election year, so we can't do anything. That is absolutely alarming. The fact that Steve Bannon can still sit behind a microphone instead of sitting behind bars is alarming. And Roger Stone and Michael Caputo and a whole slew of the rest of them, and they're out there, creating more of this dangerous. I don't even want to call it right-wing radio, right-wing media. We're talking fascism and treason, and it shouldn't be happening. And Merrick Garland is the reason that it is at this point, because he's the only one that could give us justice that would stop this.
We'll see what happens. Sherry, I appreciate you taking time for us. Thanks so much. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Sherry Jacob is a political strategist and host of the podcast. We'll get links out on social media. Quick break. Right back.
Happens in the oceans doesn't stay in the oceans.
Spate of new studies finds climate impacts are escalating. Forest Service bans logging in Alaskan rainforest again. Plus,
it is now 90 seconds to midnight.
Scientists move metaphoric doomsday clock closer to catastrophe.
All of that metaphoric doomsday and more straight ahead from BradBlog.com. I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
Stand by for 6 minutes of independent green news, politics, analysis, and snarky comment.
Xbox has also announced they're going woke too, because of climate change, that they're adding a new feature to their default setting, and it will turn off after so long to save the environment, the power.
It automatically turns off when you're not using it to save energy and save you money? Sounds terrible, Fox News. That's going woke? I'd say don't change, but I know you never will. This is your Green News Report.
Ted Cruz writes on Twitter, first gas stoves, then your coffee, now you're gunning for my Xbox.
Isn't it crazy, though? Okay, Desi Doyen, let the metaphorical doomsday begin.
Yes, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists moved the doomsday clock to 90 seconds to midnight this week. That's the closest that the metaphoric measure of existential threats to humanity has ever been to disaster. Board member Mary Robinson, the former president of Ireland, said the new clock time reflects increased nuclear risks from Russia's invasion of Ukraine and, of course, climate.
The illegal invasion of a sovereign state by a nuclear-armed permanent member of the UN Security Council, together with the acceleration of the climate crisis, explains why the clock has now been moved even closer to midnight.
Well, we know why it's been moved closer to midnight. Only question is, what the hell is anyone going to do about it?
The scientists also cited the lingering pandemic and the breakdown of global norms and the institutions needed to address risks as putting humanity at greater risk of self-destruction.
Other than that, everything is fine.
And a series of recent studies this month underscore the escalating dangers of man-made global warming. First, researchers with Carnegie Mellon University found that the world's glaciers are shrinking and disappearing faster than predicted, so much so that even if governments meet ambitious global climate targets, the world is still likely to lose half of its glaciers by 2100, with substantial impacts on global sea levels and population migration. A second study has found that the oceans last year were the hottest ever recorded since comprehensive records began in the 1950s. It also confirmed ocean warming has accelerated since 1990. The oceans absorb about 90% of the excess heat trapped by humanity's greenhouse gas emissions. It matters because hotter oceans turbocharge extreme weather like hurricanes, torrential rains, and floods, increase sea level rise, and affect rainfall patterns on land. As lead study author, climate scientist Dr. Michael Mann told MSNBC,
worsened drought, worsened heat, greater heat, worse floods, superstorms. This is the face of climate change. It's not subtle. It's not far away. The impacts are being felt by us now on a daily basis. It's simply a matter of how bad we're willing to let it get.
And it's not just the oceans. A new study this week reports exceptional warming in Greenland, with the Greenland ice sheet hitting its hottest temperature in 1,000 years. The eastern Horn of Africa just saw an unprecedented fifth straight year of failed rains, making it the longest and most severe drought in 7 years.
You're listening to the Inland Talk Express, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, KCAA Loma Linda.
A man with an AR-15 style rifle started